What's going on, guys? This is Fallen from OTB, coming at you here again with something of an exciting war that is almost in the midst of ending here, and all I have to say is we went against I think 13 TH10s total, and I think we had some fun on this war. I don't usually make a video to bash anyone or to ever say any kind of malicious words because we got respect for anybody who's out there trying. But I just have this strange feeling that this other clan wasn't necessarily on the level of trying. We saw some of the more interesting attacks that I think exist in this game that have a potential of maybe getting 1 star here one of these days. But I'm not going to bash any farther because we had some fun, and we've got me being the only TH10 or 9.5 at that against these 13 TH10s right here. And you can guess, like any clan would guess at the beginning of the matchup, oh boy, what do we have to deal with here? Are we going to have a rough time, or what exactly? So I kind of told the guys, let's have some fun. Let's hit some TH10s that have Infernos. And now keep in mind, these TH10s are not... they are not full TH10s. They have been rushed. But as we all know, Infernos can ruin the raid, and it doesn't matter really what you bring. I mean, I gave a try on number 1 here, and I'm not going to show it just to try and preserve my character for this if I ever if I ever wanted anyone to see. But sometimes you got to try some wacky, wild things and get yourself out there and try new attacks and see how it works, in certain aspects. And as silly as it was, I was working on a two hero kill squad, just kind of separating things, and that worked out really well until the actual attack happened, and I was absolutely unprepared for such an event. So with that in mind, we're going to go over just 3 bases here that we did get some 3 stars down on these TH10s. A couple we had some rough issues with, but again, it was more for the practice of hitting Inferno towers, and as everyone needs to understand what that's like, aside from just raiding for the goodies. So we're going to jump into number 2 here real quick. And this was a good opportunity for me to test out Velks that I've always really wanted to try here. So Velk's up against level 1 Infernos, which I would cut off level 1 Infernos for using Velks because the plan here was to freeze just long enough so the Velks could get in there and do the trick that they needed. And while everything was frozen up, I thought we could get a good few seconds of healing in on top of them. So we got a kind of a half-ass CC pull here to the left. Had to use a couple hogs to do it, so the regular, squad that you'd want to bring for Velks, I love bringing the 2 golems because it kind of sets your angle so you can press forward, and you don't have to worry about weird pathing or anything kind of strange like that going on. So lost a few wizzies, but as we clear out everything, just a couple wizards left, that jump goes up leading to the core right there, and that Inferno's starting early, so we want to hurry up, we want to get that rage down, and make sure that those Velks are able to tank. Meanwhile, I started on, there's the freezes there. As I started the hogs here along the side, I did not want to use spells with them. I thought they could just be this collective kind of murder around the outside. And look at what the Velks have done in the core right here. They've completely cleaned out everything needed for the hogs to get in there. And watch these hogs just work their way around. His queen does go up to the top there, to my benefit. And there's so many hogs and Velks left. I have just a couple back-end hogs there to correct the pathing if need be, and bust that king ability right there. At this point, it's very clear that there's just a couple defenses left, and the question is, do you have enough to get the job done? There is that king on the back end, which ended up slaughtering everything over there. Like 3 Velks left at, half health or so. They're not going to get you too far, but they are going to do the damage and kind of bust things down a little bit. Queen got close to dying, but she did work her way forward, which I then really needed her for cleanup's sake. And as I put one last wizard down there on the bottom to move with that kill squad there, I knew Queen was going to get top just fine. That's the point of hanging on to that wizard there at the end. King gave up. He did not want to pursue the Queen. Everything's moving in forward here, definitely. We see the bombs on the outside of the base. A terrible spot there for that. But once again, it's about taking advantage of the base's weaknesses, and that has to do with bringing the right comp to win. And this was just super fun because okay, as we clean up here, no one wants to see that final percentage. Maybe that little bomb there, but 11 Velks was enough to do it. I would bring Velks again, even against multi-infernos, and I'd do a similar strat if I could. If the base called for it, I'd certainly go for it. Anyways, moving on, we're going to hit up number 5, which I think was Snow. Yep. So we got Snow right here. Once again, this is a very underleveled base, but we're dealing with a lot of the, with the Infernos and everything in middle. Easy CC pull right here. And he's got kind of an interesting attack right here too, because he is going to go with the, the La Lune, the Go La Lune method. That's actually super effective against TH10s. If anything, it's probably the most effective way to get it done. Hogs are a little shady sometimes. Anytime you have to go up against Infernos, Hogs do not last long enough to get there. Even when the pathing is in your favor, even when Hogs are under a rage, you can't guarantee something like that. So he's going to send in just a couple Giants right there to tank for the very beginning. He wants to be a little bit light on the tanks here. As you can tell, the job that needs to be done is to kill the Queen and to eventually get one of the air defenses at least. That is something that he did very, very well right there. The royalty alone is gonna get in there and get the job done, even under that Inferno pressure. Waste no time. That air D goes down. He's going to start everything here right away. Who cares what happens? His mission is complete, and he's gonna have one of those Infernos down as well as the attack progresses. Fortunately, the Queen barely kills him with just a little bit of life left here. So everything's moved in. He's got the haste spells up like that. The Infernos, now keep in mind, are going to be doing some major damage to these balloons, and it's something you got to watch out for. Boom, last shot there. Queen kills that thing. That could have been problematic sometime later, but just enough loons to kill those Inferno towers. And he's moved everything forward here and used these haste spells very, very well. With plenty of tankability right there. He can get those loons in there nice and comfortably. Finally, that air D goes down. That lava pops at the perfect time, in my opinion. They're going to provide a couple extra cleanup troops as those balloons are going to take care of the rest of the base. So really, really nice job there coming in from Snow, doing this thing correctly. And, we got pink walls. I don't know, a lot of the times 3-star strats don't involve walls being the most important thing in the world. Now, don't correct me on that, because walls are super important, for going up against a lot of go-wipe clans and things like that. But, usually you're going to take it in the air, or you're going to do Hogs, which are going to jump over those bad boys. So that was fine. We're going to just jump up to number 9 here, our final shot here, give it the old Mike B treatment. And I chose this because this is a really cool attack, and as you can see, we've got Inferno. I don't know if that's a level 3. No, I think it's a 2 in the bottom right, which is fine. Easy CC pull right there. She spends a couple seconds on, but he's going to make sure and get that kill on a good portion of that CC. Totally fine right there. A couple of those walls on the outside there are just super rough. I would never imagine rushing so much, but hey, you got your Infernos, you got your 3 Expos. What more could you ask for sometimes? Golems can really tank Infernos well, especially lower level Infernos that are on multi, of course. He's going to trade the king on the top right up there. And this is one of the really cool parts. So he went super, I don't want to say he went light on the kill squad, but, just a couple wizards and a good jump with a couple golems is really going to do the trick well for you. That king, he finally busts out the rage there. So king's going to be tanking that side pretty well. His queen's going to be uninterrupted here going into the core. Keep in mind, here come the Hogs. We still do have those 2 Infernos up. And he's got a plan to deal with these Infernos to try and cut off the pathing. And because you can't heal the Hogs, the next best thing to do would be to rage them. And that sure makes for some strong Hoglets. And he's got that kind of back pocket heal that he's going to use there for the core. As they are going to spend a lot of time in there, you got to be prepared to deal with that. And then here comes the loons on the side. This is just a, it's a well-planned attack for defenses that are definitely weak, but you still have to do it right. You got to bring all the right things to it and kind of make it what it is. So that was a really cool job, as it's kind of cool to see hogs being raged every great once in a while. Just because, honestly. So there's a lot of cleanup. He had a couple loons that he's going to use for cleanup right there and just kind of start them on each end. A lot of the times, if you do have loons to save, you should not be putting them all together. And that really, that could have hurt, actually, really bad if he didn't have a plan for the back right there. But that's really cool. Nice little split of hogs and loons. Definitely works out pretty well. And we'll just go into, I don't even know, I'm just going to do Drummy here. Shout out to Drum Gaming, guys. He's got the website up, drumgaming.com. He's going to be showing all of his good videos and everything like that. So more love for the Drummy. He got that King ability, and look at that. King single-handedly deals with that CC. It's such a cool job. And of course some strangely placed oh boy, it's a slaughter fest there in the middle. But Drum has got some really cool videos, and if you're ever into Hearthstone or any of these other really cool kind of Blizzard games, Drum's playing them. He's doing them well. And look at this Khaleesi convention right here, as the great Drum would say. He went Khaleesi all over that base, and as he should have. But this was a little bit of a taste to see what works, on TH10s, and sometimes you do have to get creative. And lately we're going on. Let's see here. We've had some really cool 3-star wars here against some guys. We had some really close games against those guys. And other than that, it was just never really a lot of pressure in between. And we got a couple losses in there against some people who were pretty good. But ultimately, the record is good for the boys, and we get a lot of really good win streaks. And then after a couple months, we slow down a tiny bit, and maybe try new attacks or upgrade the heroes. Meaning that we got people out of the game there for a while. So that's going to happen. That's totally fine. If people are trying new attacks and learning, that's what we always say works. Even if it means picking up a couple losses just to learn something new, I'll trade that any day. The game isn't about the war win right now, today, and tomorrow. I mean, it's about flourishing together as a team. Being good friends and getting the job done. Definitely winning is somewhere near the very top of that list, but it's not going to be make or break. If you lose some wars for trying new things, I'd rather do that than sticking to just the same old hog attacks or same stuff like that. So we're going to bring some stuff here in the future for everyone on really I'd like to focus on new players using new style attacks. I think that would be a really good idea. But anyways, until then, this is Fallen from OTB, signing off.